The mighty wolf Fenrir kept growling, and so the gods of Asgard were constantly watching him. All the gods looked with great suspicion at the beast, except Tyr, the god who held a bond of friendship with the wolf. The deities of Asgard forged powerful chains to try and imprison Fenrir, and to hide their intentions, the gods told the wolf they had a challenge. Fenrir, though huge and evil, retained a playful spirit and loved to play games. The Asgardians challenged him to get rid of the chains built by the gods, and Fenrir accepted the gag. The gods chained the gigantic beast, but the strong chains were useless against the strength of the wolf. A new chain was created, even more powerful than the first. The wolf pushed hard, and the chain seemed strong enough to contain the colossal wolf. The gods looked at each other satisfied. But Fenrir took everyone by surprise. He gathered even more strength and destroyed the chain. The gods were baffled by the sheer strength of the wolf. Fenrir noticed the distress of the Asgardians, a sign that they were up to something. There was no rope or chain capable of containing the creature's strength. But Odin knew that only the dwarves could create such. Odin ordered the elf Skirnir to go to the land of the dwarves, asking them to create something capable of containing the wolf. The dwarves agreed and sent the list of ingredients for such an object. These ingredients were odd. For instance, roots of a mountain, bear sinew, woman's beard, fish breath, bird saliva, and lastly, the sound of a cat's footsteps. After having all the ingredients, the dwarves set to work. The gods of Asgard were given a rope that looked like it was made of silk, but the power was not in its appearance. Fenrir was again challenged to try to break those bonds, but the wolf was already suspicious. Looking at the rope of the gods, he suspected a betrayal. Odin assured the wolf that it was all just a joke, but the wolf and Odin never got along, and as the son of Loki, Fenrir could smell the lie on Odin's breath. The wolf said that he would only participate in the prank if a god dared to put his hand inside his mouth while the animal was being held, and if there was treachery, he would devour the hand without hesitation. The gods looked at each other and the wolf confirmed his suspicion. But Tyr, the god who always fed Fenrir and with whom the animal had a certain friendship, offered to put his hand in the wolf's mouth. Fenrir agreed to be bound again by the gods. The wolf struggled against the bindings, but with all of his might he could not break the mighty rope made by the dwarves. Fenrir noticed the gods' satisfaction and looked at Tyr, the only one who didn't look cheerful. Then the wolf realized that he had been betrayed by the gods and even by his only friend. Fenrir closed his jaw as hard as he could, pulling Tyr's hand away. The god endured the pain without groaning. The brave Tyr was celebrated for his sacrifice. Fenrir was firmly bound to a rock. The gods of Asgard were finally relieved to have neutralized such a threat. The wolf cried out in fury, insulting the gods, and saying he could have been their friend. But in the face of that betrayal, they were now his greatest enemies. Fenrir vowed that he would seek Odin on the battlefield during Ragnarok and have his revenge.